So, good morning, viewers. A very warm welcome. Good morning to everyone watching Career Pathshala. A warm welcome on this very special occasion and episode for students who want to make their career, not only a career but career of a difference with serving the country as in mind. So today we are privileged to have with us the team from Indian Air Force. Indian Air Force has been in the news with Rafale and with all the glorious history of uh, Indian military services and Air Force. Indian Air Force has always played an important role. So viewers, हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं और who will be joining in and guiding you with all the possible options with Indian Air Force career in Indian Air Force. So let me take the opportunity to welcome Group Captain H.J. Paje and Wing Commander Sneha Singh. They have joined in. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. A warm welcome to Career Pathshala, CII Young Indians Initiative, which is broadcasted in the 50 city chapters of the country from Srinagar to Chennai and from Ahmedabad to Nagaland. We have a lot of viewers watching online, and it's a big day for Career Pathshala, watching Men in Blue, people who have uh, brought India pride, and it's a really a matter of a great moment for me to share screen with officers who serve the country throughout not only throughout day and night but throughout their lifetime. It's a we on behalf of all the students and CII Young Indians, we welcome you, sir. It's a proud privilege to have with us Group Captain H.J. Paje, sir. Sir is also sir has been decorated with Vayu Sena Medal, and sir is director at Air Headquarters and is looking after the induction publicity as one of the many roles sir has been assigned to. Quite a senior person who has given many years to Indian Air Force, and he is still a flying fighter pilot, and he's flying all the MiG 21s of all variants and the Sukhoi 30. So we are really feeling excited. I am personally feeling very excited and a bit nervous to see such a great person, a decorated officer, and a real proud son of Mother India. A warm welcome, sir. Namaskar, and we really feel honored to have you on the show, sir. You coming on the show has made our show to the next level for the students who aspire to make their career in Indian Air Force and who all take pride with the Indian Air Force. We also have with us a young lady, a Wing Commander Sneha Singh, who has who will tell us all about the opportunities uh, in Indian Air Force students could make their career with. Madam, we really feel honored to have you, and we really feel that yes, Indian Air Force is a gender equal opportunity for all and every person, whether it's a boy or a girl, any student who wants to make career with Indian Air Force. We really feel honored to have you, Wing Group Captain H.J. Paje sir and Wing Commander Sneha Singh ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much for joining in. And to begin with, I would like to take this opportunity to first start with Group Captain Paje sir about his journey. And जैसे एक students होते हैं, we have all the students watching you and would like to know कि how was your student life as a school kid, as a college student, and what made you to come to uh, Indian Air Force and take this. forward. So, Captain Sir, Group Captain H.J. Paje, we'd like to know your journey as a student and till now as a group captain, and such a honored with Vayu Sena medal. So, your journey till now, please, if you can share and inspire the students with your journey, sir.
Okay, thank you for all the praise and the wonderful introduction. I will straight away get to the brass tacks. That's how we military people start with. So, good morning, children. A little bit about myself is that I had a very ordinary childhood, like majority of us have. Came from a very average family. Father was working in a company. Mother was a housewife. Had one sister. Uh, Staying in Mumbai, normal school. Not I wasn't certainly not the topper of the school. Had my share of mischiefs and punishments in school. I was an avid sportsman. I used to do gymnastics, play a few other games. I represented my state, Maharashtra, at the national level. And it was during such interactions when I got a liking for joining the armed forces. I was not really at that moment really specific which arm I'm going to join, but I wanted to join the armed forces. Uh, those days, guidance was far and few. So, looking through newspapers, I found out the process, wrote the exam, uh, went through the selection process, and succeeded. So, in a nutshell, uh, at the school level, it was a quite a normal journey like most of us have. I was not certainly the topper of the school or something of that sort, but was doing reasonably well. Not a problem child in the class at least. A reasonably disciplined person, motivated, had been brought up on nationalist ideals by my parents, and so wanted to join the armed forces. And thereafter, I joined. I got selected for the Air Force. Uh, so basically, my point is that it was just brought out that we are sort of heroes. Uh, like what I would like to start with at the beginning, we are exactly like all of you are. There is nothing different. There is no hero here. It is just that the Air Force takes an ordinary person, so-called ordinary person, and takes him through this journey, which is a wonderful journey, and places us to these positions where some of you might perceive us as maybe heroes or ideals. So it is thanks to the Indian Air Force, and I'll tell you about my journey in the Indian Air Force. I was commissioned in '95, so it's been 25 years with the Air Force in the fighter stream. Thereafter, I had this flown various aircraft after the initial training, the MiG-21s. I have experience on the unmanned aircraft as well. I have flown the Sukhoi 30s and been a flying instructor. So I have taught young boys and girls like you flying, so I can understand your apprehensions and how you feel about it. Let me tell you, anybody can fly. All you need is a disciplined approach and a sincere approach. All that is required is that, and the system has its training pattern in such a way that you can reach where any one of us has reached. It is not only flying, the entire Air Force is a very professional organization. There are various fields in Air Force which Sneha will subsequently tell you about. There are a lot of other branches also, and every place it's a very satisfying and a professional approach. Uh, Apart from that, little experiences I have was I was in service when the Kargil conflict happened. So have been little bit a participant in some of the missions during the Kargil conflict. Thereafter, the heightened alert that happened during Op Parakram. Some of you must have been very small children then, but was part of those as well, and that is why some of my decorations I wear are for having participated in those two semi-conflicts, if I can call them. Uh, so with having seen a lot of Air Force, I have also been part. Air Force is not only fighting; there are certain academic aspects as you grow in Air Force also. So I have been on the academic side also, which we have to do as you progress. I have got two MSc degrees in defense studies and management in Masters of Management, Defense Management, and one MPhil in defense studies. So that part also Air Force gives you an opportunity to. In the academic side, you can progress and learn. So there is a big plethora of activities that happen in the Air Force, and they are very satisfying. I would like to end my journey with Air Force with one thing. When I joined the Air Force, when I got up in the morning, I felt like going for work. It has been 25 years. When I get up in the morning, I feel like going to work. That is the best part of this organization. It gives you a job satisfaction. on internet you would be seeing a lot of these jokes that go off of Monday morning, where people have to be pulled out of their beds to go on Monday morning. They call it Monday morning blues. We wear the blues. There are no Monday morning blues. I feel like going to work every day. I think that should be the biggest plus point of this organization. So I will end with this, that 25 years I have loved this place. It has given me everything that I have, and from a very, very ordinary life, it has given me so much. And it's very satisfying, and I'm a very, very happy person. So I will end my journey at that, and move on with the.
Thank you so much, sir. And it was really quite inspiration for the youth to hear your passion. And 25 years, it feels that every moment you have in your eyes. And we were just flying when you were saying you have flown and about the Kargil mission. It's a matter of pride. You live more than one life when you serve the country. And definitely, it's not job, but a life which you live, and that is something students should look at, not just making a career but living a life at the fullest and doing things beyond ordinary, making yourself from ordinary to extraordinary. Beautiful, sir. This could be the best thing for students in whatever walk of life they go. This is very inspiring. Ma'am, we also would like to know a bit of your journey, and you coming from uh, uh, usually being looked at girls. What would you do joining the armed forces and air force especially? So would like to know a brief about your journey from and what brought you to Indian Air Force.
For me, also, like sir said, that we are very ordinary people. Okay, there was some time when we were at Civil Street and we are sitting other side of the street now wearing this blue uniform. There's a little difference with my childhood because my father was in Navy. He was from ranks, and I was fortunate enough to see officers, meet officers in uniform. So looking at somebody in uniform inspired me. That inspiration actually started from my home, but then after that I used to participate in many events, say sports, cultural. I was into everything, all kind of co-curricular activities, be it sports, be it other co-curricular activities. So that was a time when I used to meet officers, and I always used to think the way I'm sure most of you might be thinking today, meeting both of us, that whether it is possible for you to become officer. Same feeling I used to get when I was child. But you have to be very clear in your mind that what you want. Okay, so probably I had that clarity in my mind from my 12th class, I would say. But unlike any other family, normal Indian family, my father wanted me to be a teacher, because in, I think, in Indian culture, students, children are somewhat affected by what their parents want them to do. So similar thing, it was for me also. So just to share my experience, my father wanted me to be a teacher. So for him, I did B.Ed. And I, like I told you, from 12th, I was clear that I want to wear uniform. So myself, after doing B.Ed for my parents, then I wrote AFCAT exam, and I, got through. And thereafter, I started serving in this blue uniform. So it's actually not very different and very difficult. Like so said, we are not different. We are like commoners, but it's just that when you come to Air Force Academy, the kind of training is given to us that definitely help us to start thinking in a little different way. More than us, it is for the nation, it is for the people who are there. So for us, like morning when I get up, for me, it is not my day. It is a day for this organization. This organization is working for the country. I think this is little difference from any other job that we do. But otherwise, each and every job is important because all of us are working towards betterment of our country. And I'm sure in another few years, if all of us put in effort, sincere effort in whatever we do, we'll be able to take this country from the list of developing nation to the developed nation. So that's the, I think, aim with which each one of us are working. But yes, we are into defense forces, so we are, we have been given responsibility to defend aerospace. Being in Air Force, we are defending the aerospace of this country against any air threat. So our entire effort goes towards that. So this is like a little bit about me. And in service, I have already completed 14 years. And to tell you, the way sir was saying that we don't have to push ourselves to go to come to office. For us, it is a life larger than life. So we go to office, we enjoy in terms of say partying, enjoy in terms of sports, adventure activities. So it is just not 9 to 5 office job for us. It is more than that. That's why we actually feel that it is a life larger than life, which I'll cover it during my presentation. Also, I'll take you through many other things what we do. So thank you very much for giving us opportunity for connecting with your students. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we really feel that there's so many comments coming in, and everyone saying we feel proud to have you, feel proud to have you. So that is the sentiments of students. What though they look at a blue collar, the white collar job or in blue chip companies, but when it comes to armed forces, and especially Indian Air Force, a big salute comes from everyone from the heart. So. Taking forward, before you start with the presentation, viewers, we will be having Wing Commander Sneha Singh, who will be guiding us with the entire process of opportunities in Indian Air Force. I would like to just take this opportunity to ask Captain Ajay Paje sir that how different recruitment process is. जब उन्होंने recruitment में when he wrote the recruitment process, he went through the interviews and a series of there is a test को कहते हैं कि एक बार ही होता है and how different it is from now. तो वो जर्नी हम समझते हैं, फिर हम आज कैसे अपॉर्चुनिटीज है वो देखते हैं. Sir, we would like to hear from you about your recruitment experience, and then we come into listening to Sneha ma'am. Sir. I think viewers, there would be an internet issue because they are in such a domain where it's raining heavily, and we will be having them back. So just be there, showing your. So, no problem, sir. So I just connected with their officer. They will be coming back. और हम ये देखेंगे कि hearing to a person who has participated in Kargil war and other things is really fascinating to. So take this as a break to call your friends to join in, because this session will not be available recorded. It will be only available live. Yes, sir. So any moment we'll be having him back, Group Captain H.J. Page, and we can just connecting back in next say 5 to 10 seconds. To take this opportunity to call your friends and spend this half an hour more with the officers who have uh, been serving the armed forces for more than 25 years, and they are in such a location where the internet connectivity and it's raining very heavily. So it has happened earlier also, but I think in next 5 to 10 seconds they will be here, and about we will be covering every aspect of how to join Indian Air Force, and what are the various opportunities available with boys and girls, the various streams which are available to appear and joined Indian Air Force. What is the age limit? What the power of eyes you could have? There were some few questions, so we'll take everyone. We joined in. Sir, I'm so sorry, sir, for the mispronunciation of your name. Group Captain H.J. Page, sir. And, so I'm so sorry about it. And we have you, sir. तो हम ये जानना चाह रहे थे सर से कि how was his experience of getting recruited? कितने nervous थे sir, and how he took it from there, sir?
Okay, the recruitment process. Okay, the recruitment process, of course, you are more or less, some of you will be aware, it starts with the written exam. After clearing the written exam, you go on to something called a service selection board, which is a process where they assess you from the type, from your basically a psychological standpoint of view, from how you're going to be in the military as a leader as well as a follower. In the military, we need to be both. We need to be able to lead when the requirement comes, but at the same time, somebody who leads also needs followers. So you also need to be a good follower. So that is what gets looked at in the process. As far as my experience was concerned, one thing I tell you, I found that the process that I'm talking about that time and now I know of it is a very, very fair process. Okay, a lot of you may not have access to maybe classes or guidance purely on how to go about cracking the exam or about how to go about cracking the service selection boards. However, I found when I went for the process myself that it's a very, very fair process. There is great amount of equality in which everybody is treated. There is no difference that is drawn between all the candidates. So you just prepare basically for your written exam, which is not a very complex exam, and it's a very, very simple exam. If you've understood your basics in your classes, you will be able to crack this exam. And thereafter, when you go for service selection board, you just have to be yourself. Don't try to act like somebody else, because there are psychologists and trained people there who are looking at you from this point of view. They are looking at a positive approach that you have. That is what you need in the armed forces. So they will look at that side of you. You have to be yourself. So amongst so many various exams that you would be writing, this is one process where if you are yourself, you are a confident person, you are yourself, you are motivated to join the force, automatically you will get selected. Okay, so wherever you are, whether you are in a city, in a small village, wherever you are, don't think that just because you have lack of professional classes or something, like for IITs and all, people go to institutes, they guide you on how to crack these exams. Even if you don't have it, trust me, you just have to be confident and yourself, do your basics well, and you don't need anybody, you don't need to know anybody. Don't Basically, I mean to say is that somebody knows a friend who's a senior officer in the Air Force or something, none of it is going to come in handy. The process is very, very clean and neutral to everybody. Everybody is equal. So don't worry where you are from, whether you have guidance or not. Just approach the exam sincerely and do your basic correct. Be yourself, and rest assured, you will make it if you have the required qualities in you. So you don't need anything extra. And the same thing when I found when I went for process, yes, you do get a little nervous. Everybody gets nervous. That ad is there, gala sabka sukta hai, dar sabko lagta hai. But that the whole thing is about that. You will be suddenly put all alone in a group of lot of people, all, and you will be competing with them. But it's not actual physical competition where you have to beat somebody. You have to beat yourself. Just do your act right, and you will find that process will take you through, and you will certainly succeed to have qualities that we are seeking when we make officers in the armed forces. Thank you.
So Indian Air Force recruitment simplified, and sir has given you a clear indication that this is something which is very fair, and competing with yourself for excellence is the key, which will help students not only to get into any career, any stream of line, and including Indian Air Force. So we are all set to hear more from for the opportunities into career in Indian Air Force. So we will be guided by Wing Commander Sneha Singh, ma'am, about the various opportunities we have in Indian Air Force with a guided presentation. Ma'am has come up specially for the students. So we request students to take a worthy note of it, because this session will not be available recorded. Ma'am, I think you need to share the screen.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, a very warm good morning to all the students who are present there. And I'm sure today weather is also very pleasant. So probably you will not get bored by the presentation as such. जब सुनते हैं कि कोई बोलने वाला है 15-20 मिनट, तो थोड़ा सा एक दिमाग में आता है कि ओ शिट, it is going to be very long. कैसे 15-20 मिनट कैसे सुनेंगे? So students, we have tried to make this presentation in such a way that you don't get bored. Okay, it's not only about the induction which I'm going to tell you, but also I'm going to cover a little bit of history about Indian Air Force and what do we do. If you want to be part of Indian Air Force, in that case also, and otherwise also, because Indian Air Force is one of the fighting arms of this country, so you should know about your own arm. So don't take it that we are here to, publicize about Indian Air Force. Take it in a manner that this is your own fighting arm, and you should know something about it. Okay. So with that, I will start. First, let me tell you what is mission of Indian Air Force. I'm sure you will agree with me that whenever any organization is formed, that organization need to have some mission. Okay, अगर आपके पास mission नहीं है, so anybody who is part of that organization will be working like a misguided missile. पता ही नहीं होगा किसी को क्या करना है. And until unless you are very clear that what you are working for, your acts will not be, towards the end result. So the mission for Indian Air Force is on your screen: to prepare for war and to deter it. Obviously, it's a fighting force, I have already told you. So we are here to prepare for war. And why to prepare for war? So that in case there is a war, I'm sure as an, India as a India is a very peace-loving country, you are aware, and I don't think that there is any war which we have ever initiated. But every time war has been forced upon us. But it is very important that we prepare so well that even though a war is forced upon us, the result should be in our favor. शुरुआत चाहे कोई भी करे, एंड हम ही करेंगे और अपने कंट्री के फेवर में करेंगे. ये है हमारा मिशन का पहला पार्ट. Now, if you go ahead, it also says that we want to deter war. What do you mean by deterrence? मैंने अभी कवर करा कि एज अ कंट्री वी डोंट वांट वॉर, बहुत पीस लविंग कंट्री है हम, बट प्रिपेयर करना जरूरी है क्योंकि हमारे कुछ कंट्रीज ऐसे हैं जिनके साथ there might be some issues and we have to be ready for it. Okay, but at the same time, how do we deter it? It is again the first part which talks about it. You prepare yourself so well that nobody else even think of waging a war against you. आपके ऊपर हमला भी करेगा अगर उसको लगेगा कि हम उससे कमजोर हैं. अपनी स्ट्रेंथ दिखाकर ही हम वॉर को डेटर करते हैं. So this is our entire mission. First, to be prepared ourselves so well so that we can deter war. Little bit about history now. So when was Indian Air Force born? It was on 8 October 1932. And I'm sure if you look at this date, you'll be able to recollect that we were not independent at that time. We were under British rule. And that first squadron of Indian Air Force was born at Karachi. Why Karachi? Again, 1932, we were not independent, and that particular piece of land was also ours at that time. So Britishers, they felt that Karachi is a best place for starting Indian Air Force. First squadron was brought up there. And that squadron has 4 aeroplanes, and the aircraft which was part of that squadron, you can see it in the slide. It was Wapiti. So Wapiti was the first aircraft of Indian Air Force. It also had 5 pilots. Obviously, if you have aircraft, somebody need to fly them. So they are the pilots who take care of the flying part. And obviously, it's a machine. Who will keep them serviceable? It is the technicians who ensure that these aircrafts are kept fly-worthy at any given point of time. Here, I would also like to make you understand what a squadron means when you talk about Indian Air Force. It's a very small entity, students. आप जैसे अगर किसी इंस्टीट्यूट की बात करें, हम स्कूल की बात करते हैं. I am from केंद्रीय विद्यालय. So let me talk about केंद्रीय विद्यालय. And if I equate केंद्रीय विद्यालय as an organization with my organization, Indian Air Force now, तो अगर ये दो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को आप देखेंगे तो केंद्रीय विद्यालय का there are many classes, say class 1 to class 12. Each class again have subsections. Say class 1 ke subsection 1A, 1B, 1C. Similarly, class 2K till 12th, you have different sections. Okay, each section is a small entity of that school, Kendriya Vidyalaya. Similarly, each squadron is a very small entity of this huge organization called Indian Air Force. I hope that you are able to somewhere relate that how small a squadron is when you talk about this huge organization. Okay, moving ahead. जब से इंडियन एयरफोर्स बना है तब से हमने बहुत सारे वॉर लड़े हैं, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड वॉर टू. Again, World War II, at this point of time, we were not independent. We were one of the colonies of Britishers. So these are a few photographs of World War II. We didn't participate in this war willingly because it was not our war, but we were under their rule. So we fought as per their requirement. But still, the kind of bravery which was shown by our own pilots and our own troops was praiseworthy, and even Britishers had to value it. And if you just study about World War II and the participation of India in World War II, you will find that even during World War II, there is a lot of legacy which we carried upon. Okay, and there were many medals which were given to Indian soldiers, Indian pilots by Britishers. It's a huge thing if you think like that. If you think from Britishers' point of view, they could have just disregarded it, disregarded our contribution towards World War II. But वो कर नहीं सकते because again हमारी history ऐसी रही है, हमारी legacy ऐसी रही है. We are from the land of great warriors like Shivaji and many more. Okay, so we carried on with that legacy even during World War II, during the war which was not our war. Let us see the wars which were our war. It was like first war was 1965 Indo-Pak War. If you know something about this particular war, you would know that we never wanted to have this. Okay, we didn't initiate it. It was forced upon us. But like I mentioned in my first slide, we ended the war and it was in our favor. Similarly, with the same neighbor, we had our second war, 1971. This slide, if you see that milestone, it's written Longe Wala. I have intentionally put this slide here so that, to remind you that this particular war started in this sector. I don't know if you have seen movie called Border. If you see that movie, it's a beautiful movie, in which they have tried to, show you the way 1971 war, how it started, and a little bit of war scenes of 1971. Again, we didn't start it, but we ended it. In our favor, I don't have to mention about it. The latest, it is not a war. The Kargil operation, sir had already mentioned about it when he was telling his journey in Indian Air Force. Kargil is not a full-fledged war. It was a little less than war, but little more than a conflict. The operations which were carried out by Indian Air Force during Kargil operations were named as Operation Safed Sagar. So this is the latest one which we had. Okay, coming to the roles, what we do. Now, if you want to be part of this organization, you should also know that what are the activities which we carry out, what are roles, and how and when we do it. So these are major 7 roles of Indian Air Force which I could think of, and we have put it in this slide. First is air defense. Obviously, we are the air arm out of 3 different arms of defense, which is Army, Navy, and Air Force. We are the third. We take care of the third dimension, that is the aerospace of this country. So we are basically looking after the aerospace of this nation, and we ensure that there is no aerial threat against this country from any of our neighbors or any other country of this world. So that is our first role. So here we are defending our own aerospace against any air threat. In the second role, which is offensive operation, in case there is a need, we go out of our own aerospace, enter somebody else's aerospace, carry out the operation and come back. So offensive is we go out, we attack. Defense is we are defending ourselves against against any air threat. In offensive, we carry out operations. Okay, so these are 2 major roles for which we are preparing day in and day out. And all the branches of Indian Air Force work toward these two main roles of Indian Air Force. Okay. Military logistics. Like I said, that all the branches works towards carrying out air operations. So military logistics is very important role of Indian Air Force, wherein it deals with supplies. And the supply is for starting from basic requirement of food, water, medicines, and spare parts. You name a thing, and logistics deals with supply of all those things which are required for an organization to sustain itself. Now, ammunition, when you talk about basic requirement, आपने जैसे हम लोग normally अगर घर में बात है रहने जिंदा रहने के लिए चाहिए ही क्या बोलते हैं ना, रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान. But if you ask us, if you ask any person in uniform, for us it is not roti, kapda and makan. हमारे लिए it is important roti, kapda and ammunition. I take it that way because I need roti so that I have energy, so that I can fight for long. I need kapda definitely because there are different environments in which we have to be alive. We have to defend this country, and during war we have to continue fight, against very many odds of the nature. So kapda and makan is not important for me, students. Let me tell you that. I can work even from tent. When I say I here, I am representing the organization Indian Air Force. So for me, makan is not important. If required, I'll work for tent also. But I need ammunition. In Air Force, ammunition is for ground defense also and for attack also. So military logistics take care of each and everything, starting from roti to the ammunition. Okay, we have some attack helicopters in our inventory, students, which we use as and when required during, wars or during insurgencies also. Coming to aid to civil authorities, I'm sure you might have seen many, news about defense forces coming forward during natural calamities. So whenever there is a natural calamity in our country, civil administration, they ask us to come forward and help the people who are in distress. So in this particular role, there are many different activities which are carried out. हम लोगों को खाना पहुंचाते हैं, पानी पहुंचाते हैं, मेडिसिन की जरूरत है, या जो भी इस तरह का सामान देना है उन लोगों को who are in need, वो हम पूरा एयर सपोर्ट उसकी तरफ लगा देते हैं. एंड ऑल्सो अगर आपने केरला फ्लड्स या फ्लड सिचुएशंस आपने देखा हो, जहां पे कि people are they are waiting on the rooftops, stranded at such places, and they just can't come out because there are no roads, there is no way that they can come out of that particular area. So हमारे जो helicopters हैं, they play very important role at that time. अगर आप केरला वाला, especially why I'm mentioning about Kerala floods again and again, because that's I think one of the biggest calamity what this India, our country, has seen in last many years. During that particular natural calamity, almost the entire state was washed out. इसलिए मैं generally अभी भी recent भी आप कई जगह पे flood situation देख रहे हैं, but I generally mention about Kerala floods. If you go check it on net, आपको बहुत सारे photographs ऐसे दिखेंगे जहाँ की लोग हफ्तों तक अपनी छतों पर अटक गए थे, और एयरफोर्स से हमारे कमांडोज भी थे, गरुड़ कमांडोज, विद हेल्प ऑफ देम उनको छतों से जहाँ की चारों तरफ पानी पड़ा हुआ है उनको वहां से निकाला गया, एंड दे वर ब्रॉट टू द सेफ प्लेस, एंड दे वर गिवन ऑल काइंड ऑफ facilities which is required for a person to stay alive. So this is aid to civil authority. Coming to casualty evacuation, if you just see this word, first thing which comes to you, okay, this is related to troops, that in case there is some casualty happening at battlefield, then you evacuate that soldier and get them to the nearest hospital. Yes, it is true, but at the same time we also provide this help of casualty evacuation to the civil population whenever it is required. Like there are people even in civil street staying at places where there is no road connectivity, there is no rail connectivity, and in case some medical complication comes up, and if civil administration, they approach us for help, we send our aircrafts, rescue them, we take them out from that particular place, not rescue, we take them out from that particular place and drop them to the nearest hospital so that medical facilities can be made available to them and their life can be saved. Coming to the seventh, again, very important role, transportation of men and material. I have already talked about transportation of stuff like food, ammunition, and all. Now, if you see, this is almost like repetition, but still different. How it is different is, यहाँ पर आपने अगर कोई मूवी देखी होगी related to war movies, अगर आपने देखी होंगी, you will see army trucks moving from one place to other with the help of those trucks. Troops are moved, their tanks are moved, other ammunition, everything is moved with the help of trucks in case of army, right? In case of air force, it is by air effort. We also provide the air effort for transportation of men and material to our other defense forces, that is army as well as navy, whenever it is required. Because just imagine, अगर आपको say 100 लोगों को एक जगह, I'm just giving an example, अगर आपको 100 soldiers को point A से point B में shift करना है, and if they move by road, so they might take months together. Sometimes, if it is say from southern part to the northern India, or else at least days तो लगेंगे ही. Same thing if you use air effort for carrying out same transportation. It might be just matter of few hours, not even days. So that is the kind of swiftness which you can get with help of air support in transportation of men and material. Here, when I say material, it is not only these small little stuff. It also includes transportation of huge tanks with our transport aircrafts. So यहाँ पे tanks हम transport करते हैं, vehicles transport करते हैं. So all these things are taken care by Indian Air Force in very a small little span of time. Okay, now here on your slide you can see certain fighter aircrafts which we have in our invention, students. So on the top we have MiG-29, LCA, MiG-21 on your right. Now you can see Mirage 2000, Jaguar, Su-30. Now Su-30, this is the aircraft which Page sir flew. Okay, MiG-21 is another aircraft which he flew, and the latest induction of Indian Air Force is Rafale, which I'm sure it was a lot in news, and you would have heard a lot about this particular aircraft. Here I would like to make special mention about LCA. Why? Because as an Indian, as citizen of this country, we should be proud of having LCA in our inventory. This is the first indigenously developed fighter aircraft, and I'm fortunate enough to be in the team who inducted LCA based.
So, friends, and again a small break. Sorry for this inconvenience. We will be coming back. Should understand that the inconvenience is at both end, even they are losing out. Yes, sir. I think yes, sir. Yes. So, but they are all there, and they will definitely continue the session. So please bear with us with this small momentary break. They are in the military establishment. We don't have the cellular internet facilities are very limited because of security reasons. So it happens with such climatic conditions also. Yes, sir. So they just wanted to know which was the last slide they were. So friends, it's we need to understand that such places have a limitation of bandwidth for a lot of security reasons, could not go to any other net, and because not only we have warfare which is military, we nowadays have a lot of cyber warfare happening. So with this limited condition it was quite difficult to have this online session, but thanks to the to group captain Page sir, that he agreed that yeah, let's interact with the students of Career Pathshala and inspire them. I think in next, I think 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, they will be online again. It's quite fascinating to see the Rafale uh, in the slide, and we'll be talking about more about how coming into Rafale is making our country more stronger. It has been in news for all reasons, but a moment of pride for us. Yes, Pragati, we will be taking some questions at the end about how you can uh, join after school. There are on AFCAT and other questions. I will definitely try to take all of those questions. So, but let this presentation cover. I hope that will cover everything. But anything which is left, I would request at the end, please, you can uh, rewrite your questions so that we can take.
Very good.
And we once again
Okay.
welcome the team. And we understand that there are some network issues in the military areas in every part of the country. But thank you, ma'am, for being patient enough, coming back and fixing things for us. It's being a very, the type of comments we are getting, students are very excited. So, yes, ma'am.
Okay, first of all, patience what is shown is by students, I guess. Okay, because it is really very irritating in case there is breakage in the presentation, and if students are still sticking with us, I would like to thank all of them who are there on other side of the screen. Okay, students. So I was mentioning about LCA. This is the This is a light combat aircraft, also known as LCA Tejas, and it was inducted 2 years back into our inventory at Air Force Station Sulu. So I just mentioned that it's a very proud moment if you can see the first aircraft of any fleet landing onto your runway. It actually gives you goosebumps. Coming to the transport aircraft which we have in our inventory, we have AN-32, we have Dornier, C-17, IL-76, C-130, IL-78. Now, if you see IL-78, it's a tanker aircraft. It carries fuel with it, okay? And you can find two Su-30 aircraft just behind this IL-78. You can also see, if you see a little closer, there is a pipe which is connecting, or a kind of string you can find, which is connecting these two Sukhoi 30 aircraft with this IL-78. I would like to tell you what it is doing. Basically, these two fighter aircrafts are being refueled while they are still in flying. Okay, it is also called as mid-air refueling. Now, why is it important? I would like to tell you this. Let me give you try to make you understand with very simple example. Say you have a scooty, okay, and you have to go from place A to place B, and your fuel capacity for your scooty is say 20 liters. I know it's on higher side, but it's just an example I'm giving you. So with 20 liters, you are not able to reach that destination which you have to go. Okay. So what will you do? Almost about when your fuel is about to get over, you will search for a petrol pump nearby. You'll go get your scooter refilled, and again you will start towards your destination. So it might happen that you have to stop for a while, get your scooty refilled, and again start. So these stoppages, getting the refueling done, all these things will add on to the time which you would take to reach your destination. Similarly, just imagine, when you talk about war or when you talk about operation, it's not only the second which matters. It is the microseconds also matter. Fraction of second matters for us when we carry out operations. So for these fighter aircraft, just imagine these fighter aircrafts who are going for a mission, if they are refueled mid-air without landing, without wasting time, that means you are reducing the time of operation which is given to us. So for us, that fraction of second also matters, and this mid-air refueling help us to carry out operation without wasting even that fraction of second. Coming to the helicopters which we have in our inventory, we have Cheetah, Chetak, Mi-35, Mi-8, Mi-17, and I'm sure you might have heard about Apache and Chinook, which were inducted into Indian Air Force last year. Okay, with that, that was a little bit of history about the inventories which we have, about the aircraft, okay, role, what we do. Let us see, in case you wish to wear this blue uniform and you want to become officer in Indian Air Force, what are the ways and means, what are the mode of entries which you have in front of you? Okay, before that, this aircraft which is there in your slide right now, I didn't mention it, about this in any of my previous slides. This is Pilatus aircraft. This is the aircraft on which basic training is given to the newly inducted cadets at Air Force Academy. Okay, the academy where flying training is given to Air Force officers is Air Force Academy, which is at Hyderabad, Dundigal. And again, in this slide, if you see at the end of the photograph, there's a building. You can find a building. This is Shekho block of Air Force Academy. And this is the block where the ground training of the cadets takes place. Coming to the mode of entries, there are basically 5 mode of entries. I'm not going to talk much about the last one, which is SEC, because this option is given to the men who are already there in uniform. They are given an opportunity through this mode of entry wherein they can upgrade themselves and become officers. For you, as of now, there are only 4 mode of entry. That is through UPSC, AFCAT, MET, and NCC special entry. Now, through UPSC, there are 2 exams which are conducted. One is NDA, other one is CDSE. NDA is after 12th, and CDSE is after graduation. Now here, these 2 exams, UPSC conduct they are responsible for registration as well as conducting the written exam. But thereafter, everything is done by Indian Air Force. Coming to the AFCAT, MET, and NCC special entry, these 3 mode of entries are totally controlled by Indian Air Force. When I say totally controlled, that is starting from registration till end, it is under the control of Indian Air Force. Now here I would like to tell you why NCC special, why is it called special entry? Because for all other mode of entries, you have to go through a written exam and you need to clear it before you go for the interview or SSB process. But in case of NCC cadets who are C certificate holder from Air Wing NCC. NCC is also with Army and Navy, but this special entry is only for the NCC cadets who are from Air Wing NCC and they have C certificate with them. So these cadets, when they apply, these NCC cadets, when they apply, they don't have to go through a written exam. They directly apply and go to the second stage, which is SSB. That's why we have named it as special entry. Okay. Before covering it in detail, that what are the qualifications which are required, I would also like to mention about the commissioning. अब अगर मुझे आपको normal layman language में समझाना हो commissioning क्या होती है, so I would like to equate it, you going to one of the private institutes, organizations से अगर आपको Infosys ज्वाइन करना है तो आप उनके ऑफिस में जाएंगे या वो एड्स निकालेंगे या आपको पता चलेगा वैकेंसी है, आप जाएंगे, आप अप्लाई करेंगे, अप्लाई करने के बाद वो आपको एक लेटर देंगे, ज्वाइनिंग लेटर देंगे. So for me, you can equate that joining letter as commissioning. So that Infosys will give you a joining letter in which either if it will be say for few years, so it will be kind of bond, or they will just give you an open letter wherein they'll just ask you to join and work with them, and you will be working in that organization till the time you're able to perform. जब तक आप अच्छा perform करेंगे, organization आपको रखेगी, आप Infosys में काम कर सकते हैं. अदरवाइज अगर आप बॉन्ड पे हैं तो 2 साल के बाद आपको वो बॉन्ड फिर रिव्यू करने को बोलेगा, इन केस इट इज फॉर 2 years. Similarly, in Indian Air Force, it is not joining. For officers, it is commission. So we get commissioned into Indian Air Force, and like you get a job letter from any civil organization, we get a commissioning certificate. And students, that commissioning certificate is signed by none other than प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. तो मेरे ड्राइंग रूम में वो जो कमिश्निंग लेटर है उसको अच्छे से फ्रेम करा के, आई एम श्योर सर के घर पे भी ऐसे ही होगा, वो सारे ऑफिसर्स जनरली वी डू दैट बिकॉज वी टेक लॉट ऑफ प्राइड इन हैविंग अ सर्टिफिकेट, अ कमिश्निंग सर्टिफिकेट signed by president of India, and it finds center place in our drawing room. Okay, so commissioning is of two types. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया सिविल में या तो वो ओपन ऑफर देंगे आपको या आपको बॉन्ड पे रखेंगे. Similarly, you have two options available to become commission officer in Indian Air Force. Either you could be a permanent commission officer or you can also join as short service commission officer. Now, permanent commission means you wear this blue uniform, you join this organization and continue serving till your retirement age. Short service is like bond, where you have to serve for minimum 10 years. Earlier it used to be 5 years, but now that initial term of engagement is for 10 years, extendable by 4 more years. So if you wish to join a short service officer, you can at the maximum serve for 14 years. Coming to the branches of Indian Air Force. Okay, there are 3 major branches: flying branch, technical and ground duty. Let us see each one of them one by one and how you can be part of these branches also. Now I'm going to cover. Flying branch is subdivided into 3 streams: fighter. Anybody who flies fighter aircraft would be joining fighter stream, and so on. जो transport उड़ाएगा वो transport stream, and helicopters. Now these are the eligibility which you have to fulfill to become a pilot in Indian Air Force. So NDA and CDSC जो मैंने पहले cover किया था, this is by UPSC. This entry is through UPSC. NCC special entry in AFCAT is by Indian Air Force. It is entirely controlled by us. NDA, for one rule remains same for flying branch students. That is, you need to have maths and physics in your 10+2. This particular qualification remains same for all mode of entries. Now, age for NDA entry is 16.5 to 19.5. For all other mode of entries, age is 20 to 24. 2 years relaxation is given to CPL holder from DGCA. So, if you are a CPL holder from DGCA, your age is extended. That 2 years relaxation is given, and limit is 26 years thereafter. Now, the exams which are conducted by us, that is by Air Force, is open to both the genders, for male as well as female, whereas the UPSC, whatever exam they conducted, it is open only to the male candidates as of now. Okay, these are 2 photographs. The lower photographs you've already seen. Air Force Academy. The above one is Sudan block of NDA, National Defense Academy, which is at Khadagwasla, Pune. Okay, coming to the technical branch. In case you want to be technical officer in Indian Air Force, these are 2 sub-branches. One is electronic, another one is mechanical. Let us see the qualifications required. So these are the qualifications required. Okay, here I would like to tell you that till last year, first half, till June of last year, there was no entry through NDA into technical branch. But from the second half of the last year, we also started inducting technical officers through NDA. Here, if you have completed your 10+2, you can apply through UPSC, and your technical degree, you will be a graduate with a technical stream, and the entire thing will be taken care by us, by Air Force, by NDA actually. And for AFCAT, you need to have a graduation degree in your hand, one of the technical graduation degree, and then thereafter you can apply. Again, NDA is 16.5 to 19.5, only for males. AFCAT is for male and female, 20 to 26 years. Now, there are some specific streams. Now, when you talk about engineering degree, there are many streams through which you can do your engineering in present day. So these are 26 engineering courses who are allowed to become technical officers. You can join if you have your engineering degree from any of these streams. This is for AEL. For mechanical, you should have your engineering degree from any of these 18 streams only. Sorry. Coming to the third category, which is ground duty officers. It is very easy, and it is easy for anybody to understand. Flying means anybody who flies an aircraft. Technical means anybody who is working on machine. Now, when I say machine, it could be from small little phone which we have in office to the complicated machine of complicated aircraft which we have on in our inventory. So technical officers take care of all those things. But what do these ground duties do? What do these ground duty officers do? Ground duties are divided into 5 subcategories. Don't get confused, students. This is just to give you an insight about all the branches of Indian Air Force. That's it. Even if you are able to, understand how the thing, that's okay, no problem. Administration is the first sub branch, which is again subdivided, or I would say trifurcated into 3. Administration consists of ADAM, ATC officers, ADAM FC, and pure ADAM officers. ATC is air traffic controlling, FC is fighter controlling, and third is pure administration. I am a pure administrative officer. Now, again, I'll give you an example so that you understand why every branch is important. I'll give an example of a cricket match. Cricket match, I'm sure India में है, आप भी हैं, हम भी हैं, हम सब लोगों को cricket match बहुत पसंद है. Even though hockey is our national game, but I think there are more followers of cricket than hockey. So I'll take example of cricket. If you have to win a cricket match for your country, हमारी team India की अगर हम बात करें, in case team India need to win a match, obviously you get onto field to win a match for your nation. So team India need to have good bowlers, good wicketkeeper, good batsmen, as well as they need to do good fielding. Just imagine, जब हमको अगर एक हम क्रिकेट मैच की बात करें, जहां पे कि आपको पता है कि फील्ड कौन सी है, फील्ड पिच की कंडीशन क्या है, कितने प्लेयर्स हैं, कौन कौन प्लेयर्स खेल रहे हैं, उनकी पोजीशन क्या है आपको सामने से दिख रही है, स्टिल हमारी टीम के हर एक प्लेयर का इक्वल कंट्रीब्यूशन है एंड एवरीबडी इज इम्पोर्टेंट. जस्ट इक्वेट इट टू, एटलीस्ट ट्राई एंड इमेजिन, जब हम वॉर की बात करें, देयर आर नो rules in that game. You have all the rules in cricket, but when you talk about game called war, there are no rules, there are no boundaries. उस सिचुएशन में, वॉर की सिचुएशन में, आपके हर वॉरियर को परफॉर्म करना कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है to win that war for this country. Each and every person who is contributing towards that war, even if you're not in uniform, war के time पे तो वो भी बहुत important हो जाता है. So now, let me again take you to the pilot. Pilot is the officer who takes that aircraft, flying, aircraft in air to carry out a mission. Who gives him that aircraft? It is the technical officer. I'm just trying to make you understand about the team game. Technical officer gives that aircraft in a serviceable condition to the pilot so that he can take it out. There are these air traffic controllers and fighter controllers sitting on ground while that mission is carried out. These controllers are the eyes and ears for that aircraft, for that pilot who is in that aircraft up in air. So these aircraft, आपको photograph में दिख रहा होगा, there are 2 officers with a headset on with a mic in front of them. These are 2 controllers. The scope is not visible in this particular photograph. They have a scope in front of them like this. The way you are seeing your laptop or your mobile, similarly, they have a scope in front of them wherein they can see our own aircraft. Along with that, any aircraft which is up in air, they'll be able to see position of each and every aircraft. They are the extended eyes and ears of the pilot, and they help him to carry out that operation successfully. Along with that, they also need to ensure that the aircraft which is gone up with the pilot, that aircraft lands safely and our pilot is safely available after carrying out the mission successfully, and he can again go for another mission in case it is planned. Now, you have pilot taking up the aircraft, you have technical officer giving him the aircraft, you have controllers who are eyes and ears for that aircraft. You also need one more thing for that operation to be carried out. That is a runway. A transport and a fighter can take off only if a serviceable is runway given to them. Now here comes my role as an ADAM officer. This is one of the roles. I have to give him that serviceable runway so that aircraft can take off. So just imagine the kind of team game a war is, or to carry out even a small operation, it's the entire team which works towards that. Okay, so this is administration. Coming to logistics, we have talked about it, about logistics, and when I'm talking, I explained about the role of Indian Air Force. So these are the logistics officer who take care of all those things. Accounts officer, they take care of our pay, whatever money we deal with. So these are the officers who ensure that we get pay in our account on time. Meteorology, very important factor when we talk about flying. You might have heard of flight getting delayed or sometimes cancelled because of weather condition. Now we are in defense forces. We just can't sit and wait for weather to be, absolutely fine for carrying out of our operation, because war के time पर weather के साथ हमें risk लेना पड़ता है. So we have our own set of Met officer who calculate that risk during which safe operations can be carried out. So we have our own Met officer taking care of that part. Education officers take care of the schools which we have, and they ensure that our wards, they get best of the education, because that we are not confined only to Delhi. Right now, like I'm posted to Delhi, both of us, me and sir, we are posted to Delhi, but there are times when we are, I mentioned about Sulu, which you'd never heard of. We have schools even there, so that the children of defense people, they get good education wherever they are. These are the education officers who take care of that. Now here are the qualifications for becoming ground duty officer. I'm not going to cover a lot of things in detail here. I'll share my website with you, and you can log on to the website and check all these qualifications in detail in your spare time. Okay. Again, through NDA also, there are certain seats to become a ground duty officer. Age remains same. And through AFCAT, again, it is 20 to 26 years. Selection cycle, I think, so shall I cover this again? Okay, when we talk about selection cycle, a bit of it sir has already covered. He told you that, whenever advertisement is out, you have to first register yourself. It is twice a year, both UPSC as well as AFCAT. Advertisement, we take it out twice a year. Register yourself as per your choice of exam. Give the written exam. Once you clear your written exam, then you will get a call letter for SSB. SSB is Service Selection Board. You can search it on net. Again, for those who really don't know about SSB, if you have not heard of it, it is a kind of selection process which you have to go through to become a commissioned officer in any of the defense services. Now, because we are from Air Force, so the SSBs we call them AFSB, that is Air Force Selection Board. But the process still is same, that is SSB. The process is called SSB. Here, what do? Here we check you on your officer-like qualities. Okay. It is not necessary that you need to be genius to become an officer in Indian Air Force. No, in your SSB, we don't check whether you are genius or not. The basic knowledge of you, if we have to check, that's why we have kept that filter of written exam. So your knowledge is already checked. Once you clear the written exam, we know that you have that basic knowledge to be an officer. Now there are other qualities which we need to check during your SSB. Now in SSB, in an AFSB, you stay there for that entire process. It takes around 3 to 4 days maximum. So you will be tested by 3 different techniques. Okay. And it is basically a personality assessment test, and there are certain officer-like qualities which we try to test during that period. Once you clear your SSB, then next step is going through detailed medicals. After you clear your medicals and your name features in the merit list which is made, then you will be given joining instruction either to join Air Force Academy in case you have applied after graduation, and NDA in case you have applied immediately after 12 and you are within the age bracket of 19 and a half. So depending on what mode of entry you have selected, you will get your joining instruction, and your further training will be done there. And there you will be taught many things, students: your physical fitness, your mental fitness, everything will be taken care of, along with teaching you the service requirements in terms of your professional, the profession which you will be taking care of. Okay, so this is the process of SSB. Let me just skip this. Okay, so this is what I mentioned. What IF gives you, whenever you plan for your future, आप जब भी कोई कैरियर का प्लान करते हैं, like जब मैंने भी अपने कैरियर का प्लान, when I was thinking कि क्या करना चाहिए, so there are many ticks which you want for yourself, right? हम सोचेंगे पैसा भी होना चाहिए, स्टेटस भी होना चाहिए, एंड अच्छी जगह भी घूमने को मिले, लाइफ एकदम डल भी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि बस सुबह से शाम तक काम कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद लाइफ में कुछ है नहीं, उतना थका सी जिंदगी नहीं होनी चाहिए. When I searched about defense life, I felt that all the ticks which I wanted were available in this life. I enjoy my job. There are values, special values, which are taught to us when we were in academy. There is quality, okay, status. I can do adventure activities. I still have, I carry on with my hobbies. We go for sports, like Sir mentioned. He's a sportsman. He still carries on with his sport activities. So it's not for us. It is not a job of, going, getting ready, wearing the uniform, coming to office at 9 o'clock dot and pack up at dot 5:30. No, it's not for us. During that job period of 9 to 5, actually we are signed for 24/7. So during that also, there are so many activities which we keep doing. The adventure activity which I am mentioning, Air Force carries out many adventure activities wherein you are considered to be on work and you are still doing your adventure activities. All kind of, you name a kind of adventure activity and it is there with Indian Air Force. So Air Force gives you an entire package of your life where you work, you enjoy, and you give a very good life to your family as well. If you want to know how much do we pay you, as a flight cadet, from first month of your training, you start earning 56,000 rupees. Okay, this is your money. The moment you get your flying officer ranks on your shoulder, you start getting 60 to 80,000 rupees per month, depending on the branch you are in and the allowances which you get. There are a list of allowances which you get from Air Force. So depending on that, your pay goes up. On the right side of the screen, you'll find a lot of bullets wherein perks are listed. So these perks are not in cash, but they are in kind. Okay. So we get fully furnished accommodation wherever we go. We actually have to, we really don't have to worry about it. Entire thing is we just have to reach the new destination, whichever is given to us, and we start working. Everything is taken care by Indian Air Force. So I'm not going to talk about each one of them, but I would mention about leave, which is my favorite perk. Okay, so you get 60 days of annual leave and 20 days of casual leave every year. So this is my favorite work, so I mentioned about it. We also have life insurance scheme and loan scheme. These are in-house scheme. Okay, so here is the website. This is our official website, careerindianairforce.cdac.in. Whatever I have covered in the last part of my presentation related to induction, you will get all those details. Your educational qualification, in case you have doubt, you can log on to the website and check it for yourself whether you qualify or not. We are also available on social media platforms wherein we keep posting our videos and updates about what Air Force is doing and what are the kind of activities which are going on at different times. So you can follow us on these social media platforms. With that, I have finished with the presentation. Now I would request Sir to share few views from his side so that thereafter we can start with the question answers from the student side.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. You can please go on the website and consult it more for all those who want to join. But what I would like to say here is our purpose here is not just to ask you to join Air Force. We want the best of you to join us. Yes, that notwithstanding, uh, whatever you do, you till the time you do it in the service of the nation, you are doing a service to all of us. So it is not just that. I would like to uh, wind up with a few thoughts which are very very generic in nature. uh, since you are children, I thought it is my duty to bring put forth some of these thoughts to you as well. Okay, so you are in a time right now when there must be a lot of pressure on you. There is a lot of performance pressure from students, your peer group, your parents, your relatives. Okay, so children, having gone through a military life for 25 years, first thing I like to tell you, as an aviator also, there is a lot of pressure when you are flying. Nobody puts you under pressure other than you yourself. So don't put yourself under pressure. You would find that is, as a military man, when we are flying up there is nobody around you, but still sometimes you feel yourself under pressure. Why do we feel yourself under pressure? It's because I am putting myself under pressure. There is no mother or teacher there to put me under pressure. Don't put yourself under pressure. You'll find you'll get out of any situation very, very well. Second is something I'd already said. Don't chase marks. Focus on defeating yourself. Whatever mistakes you have done previously, don't do them again, and you will find marks automatically increasing. That's what Amir Khan also said in Three Idiots. Excellence की का पीछा करो, सक्सेस का नहीं. ठीक है. Next, perfection is a very strong message. Whatever you do, please try and achieve perfection. It is the strongest message. Try and achieve perfection. Next, life is long enough to give you opportunities to rise from failures. You will find a lot of failures and problems coming in life. Don't one exam, one mark here and there, or one something will not end it. Life is very very long. It gives you giving more and more opportunities to rise from it. It has given, all of us have seen it, and it gives a lot of next, do not expect life to be fair. There will be unfair moments in life, and that is the whole purpose. As a military man, there will be unfair things that will happen. We play a game where there are no rules, so it will be unfair, but you have to fight and win. Read as much as you can. Present day generation, I feel, doesn't read as much as it is required. You are getting a lot of views from the social media. Go ahead, but please research into the background and check the veracity of it. Read as much as you can. Do not bask in old laurels. You succeed in one exam, you feel very happy about it, it's over. Olympic में gold medal जीत लिया, next Olympics. Move on. Only then will you move forward in life. And last but not the least, have a purpose in life which is more than just money and success. If you do, I have told you 8 points. If you try and remember them, you will, with this kind of thought process, these are, I'm sure you'll be succeed in life. You'll succeed and do well in life. And all those who want to come and join us, please come join the Indian Air Force. It's a wonderful career. It's a wonderful life. You will not regret it. That is my promise. Thank you.
Worthy words, sir. Thank you so much for covering this and making this the final message for joining Indian Air Force. The presentation was so vivid for the especially designed by Sneha madam for the online viewers. I really thank you, ma'am, for covering all the presentation, every aspect of it, the detailing, the passion you carried about how the fueling is done, just moving your mouse there shows the amount of passion you carry for your life, which is your job. And sir coming up, giving a whole picture at the end about to serve the country through Indian Air Force or through doing whatever things we are doing in our daily life, like studying today, preparing for exams, and even as professors, we bringing it the best guidance. So we should do with passion and ending with the purpose of life. We should have a purpose of life. A very important 8 points sir has given, that is from the experience he carry, that is with the type of life he has lived. These are the 8 commandments from a decorated officer, to live life fullest, enjoy, have a discipline, and once you have a purpose of life, you will definitely go forward. एक बार ओलंपिक में जीत के उसको सेलिब्रेट करना अच्छी बात है, बट व्हाट अबाउट द नेक्स्ट ओलंपिक? So that is a really catch up story I want to take from sir. This is something I not heard from many people. Definitely winning is easier, is difficult, but staying at the top becomes more difficult. A really a very a moment of thrill. We just could not know we have more than an hour with you. We'll take, in the interest of time, few questions if you kindly permit. There has been many questions, students. Most of the questions which you are asking already madam has covered. We would not like to take questions related to examinations. As already madam has mentioned that you can go to the website Career India, indianairforce.cdac.in, and you can definitely see the eligibility criteria and other things. But in the interest of some peculiar questions, like Vishal has a question that, ma'am, I'm pursuing aircraft maintenance engineering. Is there any way that I can join IAF after completing my course? So someone is ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, Vishal, yes, you can join. I think this particular stream is not there in the list of engineering officer. Okay. So, like I said, that there are three different main branches of Indian Air Force. So, you can still become even pilot in Indian Air Force, or you can go for one of the ground duty branches of Indian Air Force. You can. Let me tell you, with the same question, I would also like to cover that even if you are a normal graduate, when I say a normal graduate, you could just have, done your BA from Hindi or in English, you still have an opportunity in Air Force. Okay, so definitely he's an engineer, he has much more opportunities.
A school student in 12th wants to know ki she's a girl, Pragati Mishra. Ma'am, I'm in 12th. Please tell what I should do next for joining Indian Air Force.
Okay,
Very
Pragati,
much
I'm sure.
inspired.
Okay, Pragati, I'm sure you might be thinking that after 12th, why women are not allowed to join India. I'm sure this is your question. That's why you specially mentioned 12th. Here, first of all, let me tell you that there are initially, when this Indian Air Force was formed until last, let's say, few years back, there was no women in the armed forces. But from that time, we have come to stage where we have women who are flying fighter aircrafts. So you should not get disheartened. As of now, for women, entry is only after graduation. So I also completed my graduation, and thereafter I joined Air Force. Okay, so you need to have a graduation degree in your hand. That graduation could be from any of the streams. I am a zoology graduate, so you should not think that only engineers, like nowadays engineering is an in thing, so everybody feels that if only if I'm an engineer I have opportunity. No, you can be a normal graduate and you still find some place in Indian Air Force.
So many people commenting about the commandments, 8 points. People have just noted down, and these are going to be a few comments I'm just taking before I take another question uh, about the national players. A lot of them, they are saying they're national level players. So does the sportsmanship also supports India candidature into the joining of Air Force?
Yeah, see, like railways, they have special entry for sports men. They have a sports quota. We don't have a sports quota in officer cadre like this. We don't have a quota like that. But yes, if somebody has played at some good level, we have our inter-service competitions. And if you perform well in inter-service competition, there are people who have played for nation also. Okay, you would still be serving and you will be made to play for country, but there is no separate quota to get into defense services.
But if you are a
Surely,
good
ma'am.
sportsman, you will do well in service.
Yeah.
Um, Automatically, you have a big plus point right from the beginning.
So you carry that skill with you to grow in Indian Air Force, and for eligibility you get a fair chance. But once you get in, you can definitely go. So I would like to have one question. A lot of students asking about the physical and the mental fitness, which a fresher as a student nowadays. Kids are spending time on Instagram, Facebook till midnight, and the type of fitness is more of a gym fitness. So how much mental and physical fitness, any one of you can take this question, and a message to students that how physically and mentally fit they need to be, because flying so high and in different it seems to be very easy, but in a cockpit with so much noise and variation of air pressure, So a mentally fit and physically fit. Any tips to students for physical and mental fitness so that they can make a good career? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first of all, I personally feel that it's not only the armed forces, it is the pressure which you're talking about is there everywhere. Even the students, as a student, also they have pressure of performance, right? Year after years, you have to keep performing. So that mental pressure which you have to go through, it is we are, undergoing this pressure since our childhood. Same, I'm sure all the students who are sitting out there still have pressures. So there is no, I would not say that you have to prepare yourself specially. No. If you are able to sustain the pressure which you have right now while going through the exams, while building up your career, I'm sure you will be able to sail through here. The other kind of pressures which you need to have, that is our responsibility. Basic, when you talk about mental strength or physical strength, physically you need to be fit whether you are in uniform or otherwise also, right? So physical fitness is not आर बेबी कि अगर आप फौज में हैं तो हमें फिजिकली फिट होना है, अगर हम फौज में नहीं है मिस्टर अनुज लाइक यू आर लुकिंग फिजिकली फिट. So even sitting, being a professor in a education field, you still, if you are fit, you feel good about yourself. So students, सबसे पहली बात जो मुझे आपसे कहनी है कि आप चाहे आर्म फोर्सेस में हो चाहे ना हो, फिजिकली एंड मेंटली फिट रहना आपकी खुद के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. उसके अलावा जो लेवल आपको सर्विस में रिक्वायर्ड है, जिस स्ट्रीम का जो प्रेशर आपके लिए रिक्वायर्ड है, उसी के लिए आपको एकेडमी भेजा जाता है. That is our responsibility to ensure that you attain that level of fitness. Right now, जो अभी तो फिलहाल लॉकडाउन की वजह से है, but otherwise also, like Mr. Anuj, you mentioned that now students are just sitting with their tab on, or they are just busy in mobile or laptop. Surely students, you will not be able to sustain any kind of pressure, whether in service or outside. बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा. सो दैट फिजिकली आपको बहुत स्ट्रांग होने की जरूरत है. बहुत स्ट्रांग का मतलब ये नहीं आपको 10 किलोमीटर दौड़ना है. Any kind of exercise you can do. You can pick up a sports or some running or walk or cycling. All these things help you to gain some bare minimum fitness which a person, a human body need to have. मेंटल फिटनेस आपको आपका आजकल लाइफ में ही इतना चीजें हैं जो सिखा देती हैं. बाकी आई
Just like
रिक्वेस्ट,
to add.
या
I'll just add a few things. Firstly, about what standard of physical fitness you should maintain from yourself. Uh, like we said, if you're an athlete or a sportsman, good, it will help you. But if you are not, in that case, please go onto the internet and Google for yourself basic height weight chart, basic BMI that is required, and have a look at that. Please get yourself within that. It is given for a standard person. So if you are a certain height, you should have a certain weight. You should not be overweight. You will not. So all those things, if you just keep in mind. And how do you keep yourself within the weight limit? Two things: little bit of activity. You don't have to run a marathon. Little bit of activity, play a game, go out in the evening, or to the gym if you don't have any place to play. Do little bit of physical activity and control your diet. If you don't eat junk food, your mother must be telling you the same thing. You will find that you will fit yourself in weight. Second, nowadays another problem that we are having with people is spectacles. People are sitting having too much of screen time, small screens. So if you spend too much time onto a screen, you will get chashma, and you will find that you will not fit into medical category requirements of lot of places. So please stay within the weight limit. Ensure that you take a break, give your eyes a break, do some exercises for the eyes. Again, you will find on the net so that you do not get spectacles. So this will help you join. As far as mental fitness is concerned, I think I'm not really qualified to comment on how to get that mental fitness. But if you are doing a sporting activity and your body is in a reasonable good shape, the mental fitness sort of automatically follows. Well-being in the body translates to the mind. So focus on this as a preparation for exam. Don't just prepare for exam and focus on this. Get your health correct, be healthy, eat healthy, stay safe, and keep your eyes not too much on small screens, so that you have a good eyesight. If you want to become a pilot, you need a good eyesight. There is no doubt about that. Thank you.
Definitely, because when you are at the top, you have to see everything minute, and these are the great concluding remarks, sir. And we really are at the end of the session. In fact, we took more than the time which you have given to us, but really it was very engaging. We're getting so many comments and so many wishes, and the students are very excited. And the best thing is, the students of all parts of the country, seeing you, getting inspiration from both of you to be a part, and somewhere, even if they aspire to be a part of Indian Air Force or not, a lot of inputs they have got through this session about Indian Air Force and about living a life with passion, doing things, not just looking at a job, but a purpose of life. There have been so many takeaways from this session, sir. I definitely feel our Career Pathshala, which is a 30 lecture initiatives, and we are probably on our 23rd lecture. This has been one of the best I have hosted at Career Pathshala. Even I was nervous. I was talking to Page sir. He said, seeing you, I'm not able to probably go around. I have hosted with Smriti Rani ma'am and Suresh Prabhuji, but today I don't know. I'm having goosebumps. Wow, I'm even. We have a lot of respect for pilots who do Vande Mataram vision and so many things. And for you guys, the life is so different. Thank you so very much, sir. Heartfelt gratitude to both of you, especially to Group Captain Ajay Page sir, who has been here for this in spite of his busy schedule, and that shows that he has a lot of interest with young students, inspiring them and making them believe that yes, they can make a great career. I'm getting so many thank yous. They're not just non-stopping, and we really thank you, sir, for being here, and we look forward. We also pray for your safety and look forward to have you meet you in personal in my life. I will definitely look forward to it. A special thanks to Sneha ma'am for arranging this in just a phone call. You were so cooperative, and it was just few days back, and you just made it possible. Wing Commander Sneha Singh, we thank you for the great opportunity कि आपने ऐसी शख्सियत से मिलाया जो जिसको देख के वी फील प्राउड एंड सर इज द रियल आइडल ऑफ व्हाट इंडियन एयरफोर्स कैन गिव यू not only in terms of the life but the experience, and inko the sir has touched the all aspects of encouraging students from every aspects. This has been a phenomenal session, sir. Thank you so much for your time. It indeed has been one of the best sessions we had in Career Pathshala. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank
Namaskar, sir. Thank you, sir.